Hello, beautiful being, and welcome to this tarot reading for the new moon in Taurus. And this reading is about all the energies present on this new moon, but also throughout the coming moon cycle. You can choose your pile, and maybe you just, before choosing, you just close your eyes for a moment. Allow yourself to sit up straight, connected to the earth and also connected to Father Sky, and take 3 deep breaths in with your nose and sighing it out through your mouth. And one last time like this. Allow yourself to be in the present moment. I am very grateful that you are here, that you're present. And let's just start with the shuffling and picking the cards. Welcome, beautiful beings, to my magic table. You can see all the decks here that I'm going to use in the reading, and also the stones that might help you to pick your pile. And I'm going to start preparing, but before I do that, let me just take a moment to smudge the space, the decks, and everything that doesn't serve you, everything unnecessary. And then let's get started. So for pile number 1 we have this super beautiful bloodstone. Now let's see. Pile number 1 with the bloodstone. Some information here. Yep. So pile number 1. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. So this is already pile number 1, Oracle and Tarot cards. Let's continue with pile number 2 with the super beautiful aquamarine stone. Here. Okay, pile number 2. That one, and then from these beautiful cards, pile number 2. Yep. And also the tarot cards for pile number 2, please. Some information about pile number 2. Ooh, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So pile number 2 is also already ready. Then we have here the super beautiful agate. Look how shiny it is. Super beautiful. So pile number 3 with the beautiful agate. Let's see. Pile number 3. What's it gonna be? Pile number 3. Ooh! Yep, that's your card. And then also one of these beautiful cards for you. My love is true. Voila. Message for pile number 3, please. Oops. Here we go. And then also for the tarot cards, pile number 3, please. Here we go. And then for the last one, we have here this super beautiful tiger's eye. Pile number 4, please. And also for the tarot cards for pile number 4, please. That one already. Yeah. 2. And that one also wanted to come. Okay. So we put that a little bit more in order for you to choose your pile. Voila, that's it. So if you have chosen pile number 1, then this is your reading. We have the beautiful card of the desert in the center of your reading. You can see a landscape with sand, and then you can see the red sky, the moon. What I find very interesting here is that the moon is not only having like the moon, but also this yellow around him, which makes me really think about the sun as well. And we have in the middle of the card that hand sticking out, and for me it feels like this person is actually has sunken into the sand and now is reaching out, holding their hand out, and it feels a little bit like reaching out for help. So this might seem a little bit desperate, as also the desert is a place where there's not a lot of things going on at first sight, because we have the sand, we have the horizon. We might not necessarily think of water or food supplies, but there is also so much life in the desert, and there's always water somewhere approachable. So yeah, I will yeah, that's for that card. Then we have Joy as the ultimate creator, and what I find very interesting here is that these colors are matching. So we have here these red watercolor spots, and for me they are really going together with the sky. I just saw also this bloodstone also has these red patches. And then on the other side we have the card Dream. We have the moon, we have stars, a cloud, and there is an eye and the sun. So we also have here the moon, which is interesting because they are just next to each other, and it feels like this person is somehow reaching out to the moon and therefore to their dreams. And for me, it's not only about just like dreaming, it's also about dreaming big, thinking about what do I want to do in my life, where do I want to go, because we have this eye that's like, for me, it's like the third eye that is looking maybe at a purposeful living, maybe at goals that we have in life, and that we are allowed to dream about. And then we also have the sun, and for me it's like I was immediately thinking about the solar plexus. That's the third chakra, just above the navel, that connects us with our willpower, with our strength, and with our ability to bring things into action. So it's not only dreaming about things, and yes, you are allowed to really dream big here, but also to bring things into reality. So it's not only about dreaming, but for me this is also about manifesting. And I saw that also because of the creator, because creating and manifesting for me it's something that's really linked together. And then we have the tarot cards. We have the Seven of Cups, the World, the Knight of Swords, Temperance, and Death, which I find really interesting when we put it together. So we have here the Seven of Cups, which is for me always a card that represents possibilities and options. And I don't know, maybe feel into how you are connecting with this card, whether you identify with that person and how this person is feeling in that card. I find this always very interesting to see how we react to cards, and by doing so we can see, oh, what's going on within me. So in the context here I see a lot of possibilities, and the person that might seem not really knowing what to choose. For me this is also coming together with like the desert card. Maybe you are feeling alone, maybe you don't know what to choose, maybe you don't know how it's going to work out. And this is also for me linked to that card, to the Knight of Swords, which has really really fast energy, but for me it's not feeling like fast, like warm. It's more like this cold energy, like pushing and like over, like the wish to have everything really fast, and but not really knowing. So this person for me seems to be really in haste and like really ready, but not they don't really seem to know what they're doing. It's more like, oh, make haste, but I don't know. And this is for me the representation of the mind, because we have here the swords, and the swords represent air and also the mind. And so for me it's like when we put these cards together, it's like you're trying to find a solution coming from your mind and making this solution and yes, just only to have an end to the problem, but not really feeling into what you want. And this is also the Temperance card for me here. We have it's like a new morning. The sun has just risen, so the air is still very fresh and crisp, and we have the water, we have the beautiful flowers, and the angel that is having 2 cups in their hands, and they are tempering the water, or they're just doing some balancing work here. So what I link to that is if you find balance between your emotions and your mind, there might be this might be some way out of your being stuck in the sand or in the earth. So think about, where are you putting your mind first? And with your mind, it's also coming like expectations. It might be your own expectations or the expectations of friends and family. Where are you forcing yourself to actually to choose? Because who says that we have to choose one option? Why not have all of them? So maybe not all at once, but with patience and with knowing, and also very importantly with joy. So if you approach all these processes with joy, you will definitely have what you want. And then we also have the Death card, which represents things ending. So all things necessarily have to end eventually. So you can see here the Emperor, and yeah, it's like really the day is coming to an ending every day. But with every ending, there's also a new beginning. So we have here, like, it's the ending of the day, and then we have here the new day is already rising. So if we allow things to end, new things may come up and bring us new opportunities. What I also find very interesting here is it came to my mind that if you've been trying to do something and it's not really working and you don't know why, and you have been pushing yourself very hard, then this is the time, this is the moment to rethink your approach. Because if something is not working, it's not that you have to try harder and harder, but to change how you're approaching it. So if you're trying to go to the beach and you always end up being at a lake, but you really want to go to that beach and you know it's not that far away, and you take always the same path and you always end up at the lake instead of being at the ocean, then you won't do that. You will change the path. You will try something new to really get to the ocean. And this is the same in life. So if you want to have something or achieve something, or just try something new. And I see here that joy is something that is really leading you. So I invite you in this moon cycle to reconnect to your inner joy, to the joy that you maybe had when you were younger and you were still dreaming about things, or just to come back to your dreams and everything that you want to call into your life, and then see how it can be done, what you can do for it, because you also have the world here. So you have you can have it, you know. It's very interesting that these cards are next to each other. Like, you don't necessarily have to choose. If that's something that you want to, then sure, you can just choose. Feel free to do it. But if you don't want to, you know, here there's also like these 4 things around in the corners of the cards. So we don't necessarily have to choose. We can achieve the things that we want while finding balance and also allowing things to end. So maybe you have also stuck in the past 2 things and you have been trying to control them for them not to end. But yeah, maybe reflect on this new moon about the things that you want to call into your life. Dream big, really dream about all the things that you want to have. And then maybe you can make a plan. It doesn't mean that you have to follow that plan very strict, but it's more like a map that will eventually lead you to your dreams and to your manifestations. And also observe where your mind is trying to push you very hard and rushing you into things. Yeah, just also see where you can find throughout the next, I think it's 28 days, so in the moon cycle, what things is it that you want to grow, and also where have you been trying to hold on to things that have to come to an ending in order to achieve what you want to achieve. Yeah. That being said, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and yes, I wish you a very happy new moon. Bye bye. Welcome, pile number 2. If you have chosen this very beautiful aquamarine stone, then this is your reading. So we have in the center the crone. The crone is one of the archetypes of the feminine archetypes. We have the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the crone is connected to the one last cycle of life. So it's someone that has already seen everything, that has been the maid, that has been the mother, and that has been living so many things, like joyful events and also sadness and pain and like just everything. And I guess she's not someone who is who can be easily impressed, because she has seen everything and she knows things. She knows that it's not always black and white. It's not about right or wrong, because she has also seen the world changing so much. And I find this very interesting in your reading, dear pile number 2, because you have the crone, which is which also represents the cycle of the woman throughout her life. And then we have the transition card next to it, where we have the moons and the full moon as representative for the moon cycle. And then we have some twigs here, like for winter, spring, summer, and then autumn. So not only the moon goes through her phases, but also the whole world, and so are you. Yeah. And then we have this other kind of transition or transit in that card, in the 6 of Swords. And we also have here someone who appears to maybe be the crone. So we have someone bringing them somewhere else, and we don't know for how long they have been on that journey, and we don't know if the shore where they want to go is still far away. So we can't tell that. We can just see how they are going from one place to another. And then we also have this card, I choose to learn through love. And I think this is also something very interesting, because we have the crone here, and the crone is in the 3rd part of her life, and she has already learned so much. She knows so many things. She has experienced like a whole life. And she has also probably loved so much. And so I also see here the link, because if we learn things, we also make transitions. We go from being the fool to be someone with expertise, someone who is experienced. But in order to go to, or to be that person that is wise, that knows their thing, that has learned too much, we have to allow ourselves to be in that state of learning. and of being and of not knowing as well. So I think oftentimes we think when we start something new that we already must be very good at it, but to be honest, this is not how things are working. And I mean, what would be the fun of starting something new if we already knew everything about it? And like, this is nice to experience something new and experience something from another perspective. Where I also want to talk about the 5 of Wands here. So we can see 5 human beings battling each other. But for me, this is happening in a very playful way. So when I see that person, they carry the wand like very easily, and they are looking at someone else, and this person is also not really like not in a fighting position. So this is some kind of play. So maybe you are into a situation where you feel threatened, or where you have the feeling that you have to fight with someone. Allow yourself to ask for a change of perspective, because maybe it's not what you think it is. And also here, maybe you can approach that situation through the eyes of love. So we also have the Devil's card, and the Devil represents our shadows. And I can imagine that sometimes being in transition, it can bring out our shadows, especially when we are in the phase of winter, which is also represented by the new moon. So the new moon represents the phase of winter. There is no light coming, it's cold, and we really want to just cuddle and get warm and get cozy. And so as there is no light, maybe we can also be confronted with our shadows. If we feel low in energy because of the winter. Yeah. And then next to the Devil, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which for me seems to be a nice contrast between these to the Devil's card, because we have all these pentacles that are so shiny and bright, like the yellow. And also the pentacles represent talents, or also money and abundance. So yeah, maybe that's also something that you would like to look into. And then I also want to point out, like here with the 5 of Wands, we also have the 3 of Pentacles, which represents collaboration and working together, like bringing the talents that we have together with the talents of someone else. And there is something really beautiful to be created. And then also we have this idea of, if when this person is working with them, he has something he has to offer, and they also have something to offer. And it's their knowledge and it's their love that they can bring into this process. And they can also learn from each other. And then we also have this card here again, like seeing things through the eyes of love, and not just, yeah, it just came to me like here, maybe you are seeing yourself in the position of being a victim of something, and you are forgetting about your own talents and your own love that you are bringing into the world, and your own light. And maybe allow yourself to be less judgmental. So maybe you have been judging others, or also yourself. Allow yourself to come into this energy of the crone, because the crone, she does not need to judge someone, because she knows, I am just as good as you are, and they are just as good as I am, and so on. So everyone is just as good as someone else. We may have different talents, and that is all right. That's super important, because if we were all just the same, that would be just so boring. So I feel like you can allow, in this new moon cycle, allow yourself to see through the eyes of love. Maybe you can do this with yourself to begin with. Just take a mirror and look into your eyes, and then see yourself through the eyes of your, I don't know, your 80-year-old you. Seeing all the things that you did in your life, and all the beauty that you created, all the beautiful corporations, all the joy, and all the love that you had in your life. And then feel how this feels for you. How does it feel to be that old wise woman? Or also this old wise man, or whoever you want to be, old and wise, that's all right. Just feel into that. And then with this kind of glasses on, like with the glasses of love, maybe look out, look at your shadows. Don't be afraid, because they are just part of you. And like the crone, she is also valuing the shadows. It's not like you have to put them away or something. You can also accept them. And also allow yourself to be in this process of the transition. If you feel like, oh, I did that again and that was not what was my intention, you just realize it afterwards, and you can just allow yourself to go through these stages. You know, I also see life as this transition. So like the spiral that we have in love, sometimes we think that, oh, I've been here and I just did the same again, and then we realize, oh no, I did not, because I had this realization, or I thought this happened, and then, you know, so there are differences and nuances, and we're never at the same point again. Sometimes the universe needs to send us messages again and again until we get them. But this is also fun of our lives, right? I mean, it's the same. If we already were the wise crones, why would we go through our lives? I mean, it's also to make this experience, to enjoy the ride, to enjoy every aspect of our lives. And we can do so by learning through love. So the whole life is some kind of a learning process, and we can choose if we want to feel like suffering and being maybe scared of our own shadows, or we can choose to shine light on them and tune into our heart center, and tune into the vibration of love. So I guess this is your reading, dear pile number 2. Let me know what is happening for you in this moon cycle in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye. Hello. If you have chosen the beautiful agate, pile number 3, then this is your reading. So I really feel the need to start your reading with this card. It's endurance, and what I saw first were these twigs, and also like these drops of water. And then I was just thinking about this beautiful stone, about the agate. The stone is coming from the Pacific West Coast in Oregon. And for me, this is a very gentle stone. It's really calm, and like I really love doing, like having it in my hand and feeling its softness. So it's very smooth. It's a very beautiful stone and a very beautiful energy. And I can definitely see that energy in your reading, but I can also see a lot of like opposite energy of that. We have the Tower in the center, and then we have this endurance card, and we also have the 9 of Wands. So there's also a lot of fire, even though in that card it doesn't seem like there's a lot of fire, because the person here is very like calm and looking, but for me it seems to be very like cautious and also very exhausted, I think. So we also have this card here in the center of it, Eros, I don't know how to say this in English correctly, but doesn't matter because you can read it. So at first I just saw that beautiful crystal, that diamond in the middle of the mouth, in the middle of the card, and it just came like speaking words of beauty and of somehow pureness, because the stone is just so pure and just so beautiful, and also very rare, I guess. So it's like not speaking just random words, but speaking words well chosen, and yeah, something like that. I hope you can you know what I'm talking about. And then we have here the card Energy Flows Where My Intention Goes. And when I put the cards together with the endurance and also like this reading, like the energy that is above that reading, this like here feels very sticky to me, like this green yellowish color. It's not like really flowing, it's more like being sticky, and like, I don't know. It's the same here with the endurance card. It seems like there are a lot of tears, maybe a lot of feeling like being, I don't know, somewhat cautious maybe. Because we also I saw here with the moon card, I also saw that scorpion, and I saw the coyote and the dog, and they are just looking at the moon, or maybe also howling at the moon and at the sun. And then there is a Scorpio coming out of the water, and it feels so treacherous. So what I feel, dear pile number 3, is that you feel that you have endured so much, and that you're always cautious, and that you're always feeling that there is something bad coming, I would say it like that. Even though you are seeking out for connection, because the Eros card represents our desire to be with other human beings. I guess not only in the sexual way, which can also be, but also in that way of feeling pleasure in connections, also in a platonic way, or also connection to nature, just in general to our surroundings, also to art, so to the beautiful things in life. And you definitely have that because you have the High Priestess, and you have the Moon, and you also have the Three of Cups. So there is definitely a lot of very, very beautiful energy in your reading as well. And I think what's very crucial here is the card Energy Flows Where My Intention Goes. So if we focus on bad things, I would say bad like that, or like negative things happen to us, then these things are definitely going to come. If we are bringing us always into a position where we think we have to work so hard in order to achieve something, and then we always have to do things alone, and we cannot ask for help. And I don't know, this person also seems to me like someone who is expecting someone else to help them, even though they are not asking for help, and just thinking like, oh, but can't you see that I am so exhausted and that I just need help, blah blah, but I'm not asking for it. But it's always like that. If you ask someone for help, then it's coming, and then the energy can also shift, and you can have joy, and you can have growth, and ultimately change to that. So we have in that card, for me, it's also some kind of Eros energy, because we have these young people, these young human beings that are dancing together, that are lifting up their cups, that seem to be connected with each other, that are maybe dancing. I can hear some music here. So we also have here in the corner a pumpkin, and we have like a grape of wine in their hands. So it's a very yeah, it's a time for celebration as well. And so yeah, that's very interesting, because we have that energy of celebration, which can be a little bit more louder. And then we have here the two cards of the Moon and the High Priestess, which are linked so much to our inner knowing and to our intuition. And you have all of that. It's definitely there, and it's so much of it, because we have all this, see, like here we have the blue, and I think it's always about our perception, how we do see things, and so everything what we see in the world is not really about the things that we see, it's more about how we see things, and ultimately it tells us something about ourselves. So this new moon, I think Spirit invites you to reevaluate where you are trying to connect with your surroundings, but having feelings of being somewhat of a victim, or for not being seen the way that you want to be seen. And then try to shift that. Bring your attention to joy, to celebration. Bring your attention to attention and also intention to the joyful moments that are present every day of your life. It's not just like this big celebration that we have at the end of summer or in autumn, when the crops are ready and we can get all the things that we have grown throughout summer. But it's really just in the everyday life that we can find joy, and that we can also find connection. And maybe you can also bring some light onto the words that you are using, and see where you can use like really beautiful and pure words, not words of violence or And also what just came to me is, if you have these feelings that you are living a hard time, just find someone to talk to just be really honest with, and just explain what's going on with you, what you are seeing, what you're experiencing, and then coming to that feeling that you are not alone, and you can just ask, follow your inner guidance, your intuition, to find that person to connect with. And then also on this new moon you can set some intentions. So what is it that you want to bring into your life? And then see how you can bring your energy to these things. So how can you shift your focus? And also this Tower card is also something that is very like changing. So there is change coming, and things are going to be turned upside down. And how can you intentionally be in that process of change? And maybe that change is turning into your intuition, into your inner wisdom. And you can also ask yourself where you have neglected that inner wisdom, and where have you been driven by that feeling of being alone, with that feeling of having to endure things, if that makes sense. Yeah, so pile number 3, thank you so much for making this reading. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you're having a very pleasant new moon and a very beautiful moon cycle. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 4. So if you have chosen the beautiful tiger's eye, then this is your reading. Welcome. So when I first saw these cards up here and I saw the healer and then the knowledge, I was like, wow, this is very powerful. Wow, I'm so curious how this is going to be. And then I was seeing your tarot cards and I was like, oh my god, what's going on with pile number 4? What are they experiencing in their life right now? Oh my god, there's so much sadness in here and so much like deception maybe, or yeah, I don't know. So I was really like, oh my god. But then I saw also that there is the 2 of Cups, and then also the Knight of Pentacles with this beautiful yellow background, that I also was like, okay, there's also light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all just like tears and sorrow. There's definitely hope. Okay, so for the healer, I have this super beautiful card here. I really like it. It's, for me, it's very interesting because this stone that is here in the middle, or this kind of medallion, it just reminds me of the stone of pile number 3. So maybe if you feel of having that association as well, you can also listen to pile number 3. Maybe you will find some answers there as well. So we have the healer, we have that 3-headed serpent, and then we have some gemstones around here, and then we also have the cat's eye, which I find very interesting because you also have the card knowledge with this beautiful eye and these rays of light and of wisdom. Also maybe transformation, because we have here the light in yellow, and then we also have the purple or the lilac that represents also transformation, and the moon, and also like these plants around. So, and this eye, like the cat's eye, it also makes me think of wisdom. So cats for me are very these like gods and goddesses. They know so much and they are holding so much wisdom in their eyes and knowledge. So you definitely have that. Pile number 4, this is so good. And then this card is also very interesting, like the lower part of it, with these mountains. They seem to be just fitting into the energy of these 3 cards that we have here in the middle. And it says, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. Maybe I had just this impulse, like maybe you be like, oh, but I don't know what's the difference between the 2 of them. If I'm praying for a good outcome, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are just praying for the highest good of all, which definitely also includes you, you just leave some space for the universe to work. Because if you're praying for a certain outcome and the universe just has something else that is so much better for you, then you don't want to miss that, right? So by praying for the highest good for everyone around you, connected to you, and on this planet, you just can be sure that everything is going to be all right and is going to be good. So I see there a lot of energy of being very sad, being very down, being heartbroken. And there's somehow, I definitely see some kind of a link to the energy of the reading of pile number 3, so maybe you want to look into that. So we have here the 8 of wands, sorry, the 8 of swords is here, which definitely bring a lot of movement, a lot of energy in here. So maybe you have been really bringing your attention, your energy to these kind of feelings, to these kind of emotions, to the heartbreak. So this pain in your heart, to the feeling of being surrounded by these sharp swords, unable to move and to not even seeing. So maybe you can ask yourself, what are the things that you haven't been seeing lately? And then you get just your answer, ta-da, with the 5 of Cups. So there's 5 cups, and then there's 3 where the person is looking at and they are just fallen over and everything that was inside of them is just spilled on the floor. But we have 2 other cups on his back. And it just came to me like, okay, there's also this stream of water and he can just go down and refill these cups with some water. So it might not be wine or maybe some spinach smoothie, but water is also very good. So, but they are so focused on the things that are lost that they are not seeing the things that are still available. And what is also very interesting is that we have a bridge here that is going over that little body of water, over that river, and then on the other side we have like a little fortress or something like that, something where that person could be safe. But they are not seeing it because they're paying so much attention to the 3 cups that are lost to him. The 3 of Swords is always a very interesting card because it shows a lot of pain. Also, there is not much light in that card. We can see the weather is pretty rough. It's raining, probably it's very stormy. But it's also swords, and swords represent the mind, and the mind can sometimes be really, really mean to us and makes us believe things that aren't even true. And sometimes the mind is so hard on the heart that the heart feels this pain. So I invite you to think about where you feel heartbreak and where have you been doing this to yourself. So where have you been really mean to yourself by thinking very negative thoughts, by beating you up, by judging yourself? Because this is also like the 8 of Swords is for me the archetype of self things doing to oneself. Because look at that person. I mean, yes, she has these ribbons around her, but to be honest, these ribbons don't seem for me to be really like she can't free herself and she can't undo the wrap around her arms. It's just she just has to choose. So maybe there's just this moment where she is standing there not knowing what to do because she feels so heartbroken and she believes the chatter of her mind. Because look, there's so many swords around her and I don't know what she is thinking, but she is just probably believing that she can't move, that she can't leave that place. But I know for sure she can. She can just shake it up like a dog that's coming out of the water and leave that place. And I know that to be like 100% true because you also have the healer. And there might be people who are saying, okay, I'm a healer, and that are dedicating their lives and their work to the healing arts. I'm not only talking about doctors, but also like people who are doing energy work or people who are just, like in general, who are interested in helping others to heal. Because to be honest, you can't heal someone else. You can just help them heal and find what they might need to heal. But in order to heal, we always have to look within. So, dear pile number 4, even though it seems maybe at the moment a very tough time for you, know that you can find the answers within you or just very close around you. And you can heal from that because you are also a healer. You have this healing ability within yourself and you also have the knowledge. And I think there's some clue to that as well. It's for me the 2 of Cups. That is for me some kind of self-love, because you can see these 2 persons. One is dressed like a woman and the other more like a man, and for me they just have the same faces. So they look really similar, and they are like the person on the right is reaching out to the person on the left, and they are sharing these cups. And for me it's like seeing oneself through the eyes of love, and also bringing the masculine and the feminine together in a loving way. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles. I really like him, especially in your reading. I don't see him like someone, like a knight coming in shiny armor to rescue you. I would love to invite you to see yourself as this person holding that pentacle, so like the talent, the wisdom, in their hands. There again we have the wisdom and talent and wisdom. So you are holding everything that you need already in your hands, and the sky is bright yellow, so there's the sun is there, and we also have that in the card of the healer. So the healing is already there, and you just, maybe it's like taking this ability, like taking this healing, the healer energy that you have in your hands, just like the Knight of Pentacles is doing it, and then just looking at it and be like, oh yes, that is so true. I have this ability. I am able to do that, and I am able to also shift my perspective and see things differently. We have that in the Five of Cups, like turn around, see something different. And we also have this in the Two of Cups, like just go to the mirror and put away the glasses that are showing you like pain, and that are showing you what you don't have, and put on that beautiful glasses of love, and just see yourself through the eyes of love. And I guess you just have that. I mean, you have been probably bringing so much of your energy into these kind of emotions, feelings, and also limiting beliefs. But if you shift that, I don't know if you can feel it, but there's just such a different kind of energy to it. So if you allow yourself to pray for healing, for maybe better times, maybe for feeling healed in your heart area, and bring that energy into loving yourself, into appreciating your own talents, into your own light as well. So because you may not see it at the moment, but you have also so much, such a beautiful light within you that the world needs to see shine, and that just you deserve to shine into the world. Yes, so I think that's it. Dear pile number 4. I'm really praying for you that everything will turn out for your highest good and also for the highest good of all. But I have no doubt about it, because I can see your beautiful energy, your beautiful healing energy, your inner knowledge and your wisdom. Maybe you can just try to connect to that and see that as well, and shine the brighter light onto your talents. So let me know in the comments how everything went for you, dear pile number 4. I'm sending you so much love, and see you in the next reading. Bye bye.